put people before the process. And Janice, your path couldn't have been more different, really. Yet you've both ended up in the same place, working with people in conflict.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobby, for me, when I started in the steel industry, I my role was as PA to the finance director, and then short time later it was with the to the MD as well, and there was a HR facilitation role within that. But over time, it I became the HR manager and administration manager for Ireland, and I got insights into senior leaderships and the challenges and responsibilities of that role, and then into that management role myself when I took on the HR administration. So
Yeah, two very different routes there, sort of into it, so the same theme. Put people before the process. You've both worked through big shifts in workplace and culture. Jim in the public sector dealing with major change, and Janice in a fast-paced industrial world. These early experiences really shape how you see conflict.
That's certainly very much the case. As I explained a moment ago, Bobby, at the time that I started working in the Equality Commission, it wasn't without controversy. It wasn't university supported for all sorts of reasons. And, in some ways it was tied up with the politics of Northern Ireland. So this was a time of significant change, and the change was driven to some extent by equality legislation, by the role of the Fair Employment Commission, by the role of the Fair Employment Tribunal. Employers understood that if they were found guilty of discrimination, then that's going to result in significant implications for them at the Fair Employment Tribunal. The Fair Employment Tribunal, at the time, initially, it had the authority to award a maximum of £30,000 of compensation in a case. However, the maximum was lifted, and the tribunal then had the authority to award unlimited compensation. And this was driving really significant change in terms of workplace behaviours. And there were lots of high-profile cases involving local councils, involving high-profile private sector organisations, and it really was organisations were having to think twice about things that they would have done easily with impunity up to that point. So yeah, it was about conflict, and it was about a significant changes happening at that time.